Okay, so I'm posting this a little late right now, but I could not sleep without talking about this situation. Sorry, my light was off and if anything, but I want to talk about this. So I just found out something from one of the photographers. This is mostly for photographers and people on the spectrum, so this is a very good information. So this is Brett Seeley. Brett Seeley is a renowned photographer, portrait photographer. He is known for doing many amazing shots. Most of his work that I have known over the years has been mostly tailored to athletes, powerlifters, bodybuilders, athletes in general, fitness models. And his work has been very inspiring for me, especially when it comes to the lighting, movement, and many things like that. In fact, I can actually say two of my own shots were inspired by Brett Seeley. Brett is in that complete list of photographers that have truly inspired and motivated me to be a better photographer. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can even see I actually have him on the list of mentors that I consider many of the inspirational photographers that have inspired me. I just found out he posted this on his social media. Apparently, he just got diagnosed. He was just finally he was diagnosed with ADHD, which is ADHD and autism, basically a code name for it. And this is amazing news for me, and let me tell you why. So some of you might be weird about this. So for those who are not up to start in the game or who are new or here, not only am I a photographer who has been doing this for 10 years myself as a portrait photographer, I also am on the spectrum. I've made it very actually open that I am a photographer who is on the spectrum. And I have many times for years have been an advocate for my photography on the spectrum, because many people to this day, and I know it's 2025, there's still people to this day who are surprised that me being on the spectrum, I'm able to function and do this work, this line of work. Because for some reason, people think that some people who are on the spectrum are not able to function and do this type of work, which I've been doing for 10 years. And I've made it as an example, not only to do my work for other reasons, but for many reasons. But one of the reasons that I also got into this work is I wanted to prove that you can still be an example of being a fully functionable profession and still be on the spectrum and overcome that as in that situation, as an advocate sort of say. But most cases, me being on the spectrum as a photographer, I don't see a lot of other people who are in that same category of photographers who also are on the spectrum. Unless they've been open themselves about it or not in masking, that usually is the case. This is the first time that I've ever known a photographer that I actually know who is also someone who I greatly admire in this profession who also is on the spectrum. And it's such an amazing thing for me because I don't have examples of that. I don't have someone that I can lean onto or see through example of this functional ability. And the work that Seeley does proves itself. The fact that despite this diagnosis, he's still able to do such amazing work over the years. I've been following him for more than 8 years. And like I said before, many of his work has inspired my own. And it's just awesome to know that he also has something new to discover about and learning on that sense of it too. If you want to know more about his detail about his stuff, go to him and check his work out. Check him out on his social media, if anything. But I hope if Brett Seeley ever sees this, I just want to say thank you for being open about this diagnosis that you now have, you've now just discovered or have now been situation of now you've known, because now I have someone else I can look up to in their work and be able to still do their work regardless of this diagnosis, because I never had that. And I wanted to be that for younger people, along with people who were just getting into photography, who were also on the spectrum, who always wanted to get into photography. And now I have someone who I can say that has been in this game longer than me, who is doing this work. Because again, Seeley's work is one of the many people who has inspired my own. And so this is an awesome thing for me, and I hope that work on that I can continue to still be inspired by his work, because hopefully I will still be inspired by his work. But if you haven't get a chance to go check out Seeley's work, go check out his YouTube, especially if you're a new photographer. If you want to get into the line of work that he's doing, definitely check out his channel. Many of this work that he's done over the years, I loved much of it. And he's even collaborated with some of the photographers that I also look up to, as well as a few models that I've looked up to and are hopefully would love who I've dreamed of working with. So check out his work if you're interested of his style of it and everything else of it. But I just figured I wanted to bring that up because, again, I want to be an advocate as a photographer on the spectrum to prove that you can still do this line of work regardless of what diagnosis that you deal with in this situation. And it only just makes either things easy for you to know what you are adjusted to and what you're comfortable for, and it also helps in the sense of what you want to do in regardless of this neurodivergency. And I hope Brett Seeley knows that now I can see him even greater of what he is already than when I was before.